What's up guys, Rampage here again bringing you today's question of the day. So for today's question I'm going to be asking you guys, what is your favorite Pokemon competitive role? For example, you have sweepers, tanks, walls, clerics, spinners, spin blockers, you have so many of them. But for me, I'd probably have to say that I like sweepers the most, and to be even more specific, special sweepers. I don't know why. I just like, hitting on the special side more than the physical side, even though close combat is one of my favorite moves. But yeah, I think special sweepers are my favorite role competitively, so leave your answers in the comments below, and let's get started with the battle. What's up guys, Rampage here again, bringing you another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Here we have a battle against someone who goes by the name of Metalbender that I found off of Smogon. And I look at his team and I see that he's using Sun with 4 guys weak to Stealth Rocks, no spinners, so I'm thinking this should be, fairly easy as long as I get my rocks up, because he can't really switch in as much because of the Stealth Rocks weakness on his team. So, without further ado, let's get started with this battle. I'm going to lead off with my Rotom. My opponent's going to lead off with his Ments, and he's going to go for the Outrage first turn, and I'm saying this as a nice opportunity because I'm going to go for the Volt Switch after he unfortunately gets a crit on me with the Outrage, so that kind of sucks, but I'm going to crit him right back when I go for the Volt Switch. And I'm going to go out into my Jirachi because since he's locked into a Dragon move, I can go out into my Steel type and go for the Stealth Rocks. So anyway, that Outrage is actually doing a lot to my Jirachi. That did about 30%, 25% after Stealth Rocks. So I'm going to stay in again and just go for the Iron Head because I think an Iron Head should be enough to take out the Mets from that range. Or at least that's what I was hoping for. So I'm going to stay in, go for the Iron Head, and I am able to take the Mets out with a crit. Not sure if it mattered, and if it did, well, I don't really think it did, because I'm thinking that his Mets was probably scarfed, and he really couldn't switch out after the Iron Head anyway. So anyway, he's going to go out into his Ninetales now, get the Sun going for him, and I'm going to switch out because I think my Jirachi still has a use in this game, so I'm going to go out into my Rotom just to see what he's going to do. Primarily is Death Water because I'm only at 7 HP left. And soon as I clicked the button to switch out the Rotom, I was thinking, what if this is the Ninetales that goes for sub? And what do you know, it went for sub, and now it's going to take me out with Flamethrower. So I just lost my Rotom, which is very unfortunate. Well, I was planning on losing it anyway, but not while this Ninetales was behind the sub. So anyway, I'm going to go out into my Terrakion. I'm just kind of hoping that this thing doesn't have Solar Beam. So I'm going to go for the Earthquake. I am Choice Scarfed. I don't want to lock myself in on close combat and get defense and special defense drops. And I see that he's going for Flamethrower, which is doing a lot. That's easily 35%, I would say. And I'm going to switch out now because I'm pretty sure he's going to switch out as well. And he is going to switch out. In fact, he's going to go out into his Dragonite because it's the only thing on his team that can really take an Earthquake because it is immune to it. So anyway, I'm going to go for the HP Ice with my Landers. Maybe he thought he could live one. Maybe he thought I wouldn't have it. Whatever the case, I'm going to take out this Dragonite, and that big threat is out of the way. Don't have to worry about it anymore. But now he's going to go out into his Infernape. And this Infernape is actually the biggest threat to my team now that I lost my Rotom due to that crit. So I really got to play carefully around this thing. I'm going to go out into my Jirachi's Death Water, seeing as though he has like 3 fire Pokemon left, and Jirachi's a Steel type, and it's in the Sun. I really don't think Jirachi's going to be any useful, so I'm just going to father it out, and I'm going to go out into my Terrakion. I see the Overheat, so I'm thinking that this thing is probably Scarfed or maybe Specs because I don't see any Life Orb. So I'm going to go out into my Terrakion, go for the close combat as he goes out into his Arcanine. And as you see here, I am going to unfortunately crit this Arcanine. Crit definitely mattered because of the Intimidate, but I don't really think it mattered in the long run because it would have been a 2-hit KO anyway, hence I wouldn't have gotten a crit. Or hence the crit wouldn't have killed him, I mean. So anyway, now he's going to go out into Breloom. Tech Looms are running wild nowadays, and this thing can threaten me out with Mach Punch. So I'm going to go out into my Mamoswine, his Death Water, just because Mamoswine is slower than his it's pretty much slower than the rest of his team except his Breloom and possibly Ninetales, and it's really not going to be any useful. So I'm going to father out Swine, go out into my Landers so I can just Psychic this thing. If he goes out into Ninetales, that's fine because this Ninetales is not going to appreciate a Psychic. So I'm going to go for the Psychic, and it's actually going to take the Ninetales out, which is nice. And I believe all he has left is this Infernape and the Breloom now, but this Infernape is still a huge threat. I can't switch in my Terrakion because it probably will die, most likely will die to this overheat. So I'm going to have to father out my Celebi, and I do want to keep my Landorus for his Breloom. So I'm going to father out my Celebi so I can get a safe switch into my Terrakion, go for the close combat. If he decides to keep in this Terrakion, then this thing is out of the way. If he decides to go into Breloom, then that's out of the way. So I'm really fine with just going for the close combat right here. He is just going to opt to take me out, which is nice. And now I can go out, or now he's going to go out into his Breloom. He's going to take me out with the Mach Punch. And I see no reason to switching out. I'm just going to leave my Terrakion in his Death Father. And my last guy is Landorus. I did reveal the Psychic earlier. So that's pretty much going to be the game once I go for that, because Breloom's not going to be able to live a Sheer Force Life Orb Psychic from this Landorus. So I'm just going to go for that, and that's going to be the game after this Breloom's HP bar goes down. So anyway, that was a good game, pretty fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and if you did, please push that like button. Also leave a comment. Do enjoy reading your comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the near future. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Rampage here, signing out. Peace.